like to see some Pharah.
Yeah, there's DPS do still have a place in this game. Pharah is one of the more popular, but that's neither really here nor there. We're gonna be seeing
I'll take a May, though.
Yeah, exactly. HSL, they want to, you work that synergy. There's snow on the ground. Why not pull this May with Tech 36?
Right.
You're going to be looking for a good early wall. Separate one of the tanks really early on. That wall placement is going to be a crucial cooldown for HSL. That's going to be their in here because they're giving up the D.Va in order to run this May.
Right. Crondop just kind of ducking around this corner, playing that angle there, waiting for the Discord to get off of it before poking his head around the corner once more. HSL, though, A10, already taking a big chunk of damage there. It's going to be able to be passively healed up, but Young and Beautiful would have liked to see them press that advantage with that half HP Zarya while they could. First cap going to go to HSL, in goes Young and Beautiful now, but Coffee very, very low, and actually will be able to catch the armor pack and keep himself alive. Wall came in from Tech 36, but wasn't quite enough to split the team. 2 kills for HSL, 1 for the Young and Beautiful right now, and Beat comes in from HSL basically to secure that.
Young and Beautiful looked like they wanted to take the better fight, so they just ceded that first point to HSL, and Tech, it wasn't a perfect wall, but it was close enough. You saw right there that they're a lucky fire strike, we'll say, from Chubbs was able to catch when the Young and Beautiful get that early pick, and then HSL will be able to hold now, and they're looking good to continue to hold here. Grab out.
On Surge. The charge comes in, and there is that wall to cut members off. Tech 36 is very close to the Blizzard as well, which will be even better, especially in GOATs. Everybody's all grouped up. Perfect targets for the Blizzard. Tech 36 tossing it down, and look at that. You see 3 members caught into it. The charge comes in from Crondop. He's able to escape with a kill onto FD God, but he will be frozen up and kept alive just barely. Meanwhile, Coffee fragging out over here. High charge, but let's not forget about Honey as well, delivering a kick to the face of Sardis.
Yeah, Young and Beautiful, this is a team where everybody is a damage dealer, right? You got that front line, a big beefy Zarya, but you can't miss out on that fragging Zen either. Huni really helping Young and Beautiful stay alive during that Blizzard. It was good placement from Tech 36, but even better reaction from Young and Beautiful. And now they got to keep holding on to it, but no support ultimates to speak of. It's all going to be up to Crandop and Danny.
Right, and Tech 36 now on the D.Va, swapped off of that May there. Rally comes in from Zar to shatter, drop down from Crandop. Cannot get value with that. It's going to be blocked by Chubbs, who's got a shatter of his own, and he hits a chubby shatty. That's right, we're not letting you forget about that term of phrase. And HSL will just sweep this fight up.
Is that a phrase? I'm pretty sure.
We pioneered this a couple weeks ago.
You just made it up. Okay.
No.
All right.
You asked Panda.
All right, Rian. You can absolutely be the trendsetter here. We'll give it to you. But Young and Beautiful, I mean, as quickly as they took that point, they gave it up once again. What a beautiful shatter from Chubbs. And HSL can hang on to these 2 support ultimates and keep rotating them. Young and Beautiful, they got tools, but they need almost a perfect fight.
Oh, Chubbs just annihilates Honey there, isolated from the team, and even the Graviton Surge gonna get eaten up here. Young and Beautiful just cannot get anything. They're taking L's left and right.
Oh, can't catch a break right here. Feeding Divas, right? Tech 36 gonna be close to that self-destruct for this next fight, and Young and Beautiful, they came in with 4 and now they're down to 3, and they're missing a pretty crucial one, but it's not gonna stop them from charging in.
Beats out from Young Savage there, but Young and Beautiful, there's so much damage still there, and Crondop goes down anyways. Chubbs drops another shatter. Cannot find value, but, he finds the value in that they're halted for the time being and cannot push through. Bomb dropped onto the point from Danny. Just kind of desperation trying to contest, but there's no chance for Young and Beautiful. HSL will take the first map in a fall.
A little bit unlucky in the scramble to try and get onto the point. Young and Beautiful layered those 2 support ultimates. Ended up not really making a huge difference, but a little bit of a rocky start for a team that we might expect, come out on top in this round. HSL, though, they generally struggle on control. It's actually where they've lost the most amount of maps, so it's heartening to see this team pull off that first round win. They got to keep it up though as we move into Sanctum, and this is a map where the geography matters a ton, and as we can already see from Young and Beautiful, they're looking to take advantage of that pit filled with Mondada's gold.
Right, and again, we saw this composition earlier, the pulled pork from out of my game, but I guess it was a little too early. It was still breakfast then. Now it's probably a little bit closer to lunch, so pulled pork, hey, probably going to be a little bit more tasty, something you're actually going to want to eat. So hopefully Young and Beautiful are going to try and channel that, the power of food, and win out this fight.
Yes, exactly, but they don't want to feed any ultimate charge. The
Yeah.
dive comes in from HSL.
There
and
we go.
Beautiful pull.
Krondop finding the boop kill onto Stardust. Ooh, looking savage. They're going for a bit of a ride, but hey, Frogs, they can jump very far, and he's able to save himself. Wow, that was a clutch bubble. Came in at just the right time. And there you see Coffee will fall to a melee by FD God, who has been such an aggressive Lucio. You look at his positioning here, just dodging around on top, not letting himself doing a lot of damage. But then there's the war from the high ground between the two Lucios, proving who is the alpha Lucio. And in comes the boop from Young Savage. Almost finds the kill there onto A10, but just can't in the end. The Diva of Tech 36 flying around, and Honey will secure the pick onto Hidan here. Nobody's still capped the point yet. Young and Beautiful did have that advantage in terms of the numbers for a brief moment in time, but now they've kind of lost that, and FD God is able to get the one boop, but instantly 2 kills for Young and Beautiful. They will secure this. They just got to deal with FD God. There he is, the hook. Frog legs for dinner.
Man, he is an apostle of the boop word, but unfortunately Young and Beautiful not receiving that message here. They're going to be able to hold on to this point, and they needed to win that. The hunker and bunker comp that they're running right now takes a lot of effort to set up. Once you do, it's very difficult to assail. It needs an all-out dive and investment from HSL Esports. But if Young and Beautiful had given that up, not only would they not have this beautiful positioning, but they wouldn't have this bevy of ultimates either. HSL need this grab from A10 to go off without a hitch.
Look at Caffey's rotation here. This is perfect. No, misses the hook onto A10, but that would have been a deadly bomb over the top. A10 farms it for charge, but FD God not quite so lucky. Is going to be the martyr for the HSL here, as all the kill feed is turning blue in favor of the Young and Beautiful.
You have this giant, beefy, walking tank in Caffey with this Roadhog. You just send him on his own flank. He can fish for hooks, and, you know, eventually a player of his quality is going to be able to find one sooner rather than later. HSL, you know, for their own credit, they didn't burn any of their ultimates in that last push, so they're going to be rolling in with 5. A10 just needs to be able to close the distance here, because Young and Beautiful are still running a Diva. There's still potential for that grab to get eaten.
This is perfect. He gets escorted in by his Diva, and he's able to pop the Graviton Surge in, and they just drop the bomb on top of it. Flippy's gone. Caffey barely able to live there, and he's still holding onto a whole hog here. Chubb's on the point right now with the Primal Rage. Opportunity for environmental kills, but he needs to be a little bit careful. He's looking for Krondop, but he's able to use that's Fortify. And now Chubb's locked up in the corner, barely able to slip his way out of danger as the hog from Caffey just driving the members back. The crowd control is there, and HSL will cap the point after playing that one a little bit slow, baiting the ultimates out from Young and Beautiful, and then cleaning up.
And another boop kill for FD God. Just, you know, want to point it out right there. Unfortunately, the shield not going to be able to stand up to the all-out assault from HSL Esports, so they do manage to regain control of this point. But at 88%, Young and Beautiful, they only really need one clean team fight to flip that point and potentially cap it and tie things up here on Nepal. So they're going to swap up as well. It's going to be really difficult to enter with that Orisa, so they're going with mobility in this Winston.
Exactly, and that's perfect because they can rotate a lot better there. And you see they're going to do just that, moving around to the other side. And HSL responds in turn by moving themselves, right? They want to block that for as long as possible. But Young and Beautiful are able to get their foot in the door. And if I'm not mistaken, I just saw boop. No, I didn't. I was mistaken. My eyes are deceiving me, it seems, and Hidan there's Transcendence is wearing off. Honey's still holding on to his, and oh, there's the boop I was looking for. Caffey, down you fall into the Sanctum. Well, FD God once more clutching up for the team. 1 kill, and that's all you need in GOATS.
And he's going to have a sound barrier because of it. This guy has been building ultimate charge like no other. And HSL hasn't even really needed to use that sound barrier because Young and Beautiful have had such a hard time simply engaging. They knew that they were going to take an eco push with all the swaps that came through. This is going to be their best chance.
And watch Chubbs here. He's got the Primal Rage, so he can just jump behind everybody and just deal a lot of damage and then jump right out like he just did right there, and then move back in, look for these environmental kills or the jungle kills. And that just shows you the amount of value Primal Rage can have. It's not in the damage, it's in the displacement there. And Krondop actually saving himself from death by popping that Primal Rage, getting the jump reset, being able to get back onto the point in time. But FD God almost goes in, but he's the only way to be caught in the grab. Caffey again, booped. FD God is on fire right now. The man will not be stopped. HSL looking to even this out against Young and Beautiful. It's all going to come down to this one last fight, and he gets another. FD God is bloodthirsty right now on this frog. He's like a poisonous dart frog. If you touch him, him. If you get near him, he will slaughter you. And HSL clean up very nicely on the Sanctum. They will be able to take Nepal 2-0. Cappy might be able to touch on the Tracer, but it's not going to be enough.
Overtime is initiated on FD
And there's
God!
another boop. I don't believe this. FD God has found so much value on the Lucio. It's surgical. He goes in, gets the boop, cuts the team wide open. It's like,
oh man alive. I hope chat is going crazy because he deserves all of the copy pastas.
Oh, yeah.
I am an atheist, but now I am an FD God because that is, I believe, I don't know, eight boops, right? One for each day of the week and twice on Sundays. And just an incredible play. There was almost nothing that Young and Beautiful could honestly do. Every time they thought they had that full 6-man, and you have, the plan.
Nope.
Okay, we're going to drop this first, then we're going to go in. Maybe we're going to use the sound barrier. If it gets there, it never gets there because even when HSL was caught up in that grab, you've heard of counter shatters, right? How about the counter Lucio boop?
Counter boop. Oh man.
Boops the Zarya right off the map.
Scaffian.
In one right click, you get rid of almost all of the damage that can come through.
That's
not
crazy.
to mention just like a straight up pick, right? And then you're up at a 6v5 and just again.
Chef's kiss. Beautiful. FD God. Man, finding so much value, but you see the question is, FD God, he's known to play a little bit aggressive, right? He's known to be that kind of aggressive Lucian. We saw that right there. That's why he's getting all those boops. He's getting in there. He's getting in your face. But the question is, on a map where you don't really have those boop opportunities, is that going to cost the HSL?
Ah, there we go. Yeah, that is, if I was Young and Beautiful, you'd be thinking, hey, that was certainly a tough loss, maybe an unexpected loss. But, if I was to keep an eye out for places where I could maybe exploit the weakness of a team, that would be a place to look. He likes to go for these aggressive plays. Try and, turn it around.
Yeah. And our next map going to be King's Row, like we saw again. So far, no deviations from the first set. Same two maps. And King's Row kind of touched on it before, kind of talked about it before. We haven't really seen, I guess, the kind of creative, quote unquote, mentality from either of these teams yet. They've really just been kind of sticking to their guns with the GOATS comp. HSL, actually, I'm gonna take that back. Young and Beautiful, they were running that the pulled pork composition, so we could see maybe a bunker composition here on first point. That is something that has been run with the double sniper.
Yeah, we've also seen May here on King's Row in South American Contenders. You can wall off the high ground, get rid of that line of sight right off the bat. But maybe we're not seeing a ton of flexibility between these two teams, but it's not just about the number of heroes or the number of comps you can play, but how well you play them.
Right.
So it is just going to come down to execution. And with HSL on the defense first, they have Hedon on the Ana. This is like Hedon, again, one of those OG names, and Ana, one of those OG heroes that he represented to great success. So if HSL are going to be running this composition with the Lucio Ana, it is going to be up to Hedon to take those proactive measures, get big anti-nades right off the bat, work himself up to an early nano boost to allow HSL to go aggressive on the defense, because what you gain in the Ana, you lose in a Transcendence.
And a little bit of graffiti there from the HSL as well. Apparently, they're not big fans of Paris Eternal. It's a little unfortunate. Not sure why that is. And there you see Young Savage. Okay, we talked about FD God playing aggressive, but how about that? He just goes all the way around the corner of the Elderworth.
Just saying hello. Mondada is just, so popular these days.
Oh yeah, and they're seeing they push it as well. Nice boop from FD God, facilitating that anti-nade there onto Crondup, who's very low. Will the HSL follow up on this stuff? That's the question. Young and Beautiful back out really well, and Crondup is able to get healed all the way back up. Caffey right now, 100 charge, very, very juiced up on this Zarya, and that is not something you would like to see, because he's looking to pop the cap right off this defense and just suck him dry of all of that good old juice. But you're going to see the nano boost come out there onto Chubbs. Not finding a whole lot of value with it, but he drops the shatter. He does find two with that. Caffey and Danny will be able to get right back up again. So not much happening on the point right now. Just a little bit of a game of patty cake, it seems. But Grand up here, building up ever closer to that Transcendence, or not Transcendence, Shatter. You're going to see the first kill come out onto Chubbs finally. And I don't even think we need to say it at this point, but with no Ryan, can't win.
Yeah, unfortunate right there. Hedon using that nano boost, but Chubbs couldn't actually really make anything of the nano or the shatter. Even though he did get catch 2 of Young and Beautiful, no throughput damage from the rest of his team to go and push them off of the point. So that was actually 2 ultimates down the drain for very little effect. And Young and Beautiful going to be really, patting themselves on the back after that. They roll into Street's face with almost 5 ultimates to their name. So, and especially around this first archway, it can be very difficult to break out of. It's a good place for the defense to hold, but Young and Beautiful, they have the tools to respond to whatever HSL throw their way.
Exactly. But you got to think about the map as well, right? HSL, this does favor them because they can play around this corner. They have so much that the defense can do. The Young and Beautiful, they just kind of have to walk into it and play their game, but they're going to try and counteract that by Graviton surging first, and in come the kills. Chubbs falls down, and the rest of HSL will just fall as well. It's like Humpty Dumpty, but in this case, it's your Reinhardt.
Yeah, I mean, who would think that a giant 800-pound suit of armor is so fragile, right?
Yeah.
Just like the outside of an eggshell. But
Exactly.
HSL, it was a wise, good veteran move right there.
Here we go.
Blowing any ultimates in a panic, and Young and Beautiful though want to apply even more pressure. They're pushing up, making sure that HSL aren't going to be getting any ideas. Best case scenario, you put so much pressure, HSL need to use an ultimate just to get out of the choke, but it doesn't look like the Young and Beautiful going to back up, cede a little bit more space, go for the better fight, not just the first fight.
Here we go. 5 ultimates online for both of these teams. You're just going to see everything but the kitchen sink used right here. Bomb combo in from the HSL. They don't find anything with that, but Chubbs drops a shatter and does get a few, but Karandop drops around the corner himself with another shatter. Only really the support ultimates left. HSL do have both of their support ultimates, whereas Young and Beautiful have burned theirs. Cappy, though, very close to the Graviton Surge. If you can draw out both of these support ultimates, ideally, but really it's only going to be one, because in comes the beat. Now, Cappy, wait this out, force out the Transcendence. There you go. That's the ideal situation, and Young and Beautiful capitalize on that. We're going to see them rolling into Kings Row third, looking at very, very, very classy.
Yeah, good play right there from Young and Beautiful to wait until FD God dropped his sound barrier before letting loose with that bigger bang combination. These days, with teams getting so used to playing goats, you can actually counter a self-destruct, which usually does 1,000 damage with a sound barrier. So Young and Beautiful holding their hand once again, going for that better fight, and HSL, getting red really easily right now.
Yeah. Young and Beautiful, again, playing aggressive, holding aggressive so that the payload can get as much progress as possible. But now they're going to drop back out for the time being, rally their team together before moving into this next push. And look where HSL is staging. Up on the high ground there, Tech36 wants to get that extra little bit of damage. FD God as well, looking for these boops. There is that little bit of a pit right next to the payload, where the payload currently is. Charge comes in from Chubbs, trying to follow up on that Graviton Surge, but he cannot. Unfortunately, Honey does use the Transcendence off of that, though. So HSL, they need to get that Shatter, and they need to find value, and Chubbs, unfortunately, cannot get anything with it. The counter Shatter comes in, but no value from that either. But they will find value with this Graviton Surge by drawing out the Transcendence of Hedon. However, look at FD God. Very, very close to that sound barrier. He will have it for the next fight. Grondop is taken down, so HSL come out of this at an overall positive.
They were able to hold on just long enough so that Young and Beautiful expended almost everything that they had. Rally is gone now, Transcendence and Grav as well, and HSL now are going to be coming up. They're on the upper half of that ultimate economy hill, so they're going to be feeling pretty comfortable here. But again, Young and Beautiful have the ability to tempo their fight here. Danny could open up with a big self-destruct, pick off just one member, and the Young and Beautiful sweep in and take this defense.
And again, I keep loving where Tech36 is positioning there, either in that side room or up top, where he can get a bird's eye view and try to eat up the Graviton Surge of Cappy, but he knows he doesn't have one yet, so they're free to go for the grab bomb combo. And they will find Young Savage with it. Tech36 takes him out with the beat. And here is a Graviton Surge actually from the HSL, or actually from the Young and Beautiful. They're trying to follow up on this. They do get the 1 kill into A10, but the rallies will come out from both teams and kind of equalize. The Young and Beautiful can get the push back in.
Both of these teams seem to want to take the fight as fast as possible around this corner. Bomb in, not going to find anything but a corner.
There you go, Young and Beautiful, and they have found that exact corner. The bomb made the space for them to push in, and now they've gotten past one of the hardest stages in Kings Row to get past. Is that corner right there. It is so defense favored, and now they're in the home stretch. And Krondop, all he's got to do is drop the hammer right here, say, stop, hammer time, and hopefully they'll be able to take it all the way. But Young and Beautiful, they're just playing it slow, playing it patient. Krondop looking for the window, looking to thread the needle, but they're going to use the Graviton Surge to start things off here, try and draw out those support ultimates. Charge comes out of Chubbs, but Krondop pays for it. FD God is there to follow up with it on the boop, and Tech 36 again playing that high ground, looking for the Matrix plays, but Caffey will find a 10 in this fight. And Caffey, they're building up that Graviton Surge extremely quickly, and the beat's going to be dropped as well from Young Savage. Young and Beautiful want to keep fighting this fight, even if they're down there Reinhardt, because he will be returning very quickly. That's why Young and Beautiful back out a little bit here, and then Krondop is returned to the team. Danny taking the high ground, knocking FD God down. There's the shadow that comes in. Stardust and Tech 36 down. Counter shatter, counter grab, but nothing out of that grab from A10. He just whiffs it on the payload, and Young and Beautiful, they're in a beautiful position themselves to be able to come back, rally, and take this fight. Everybody's so low, no support ultimates. Stardust gone. A10 as well. Young and Beautiful will push it.
Young and Beautiful working like a slingshot right here. You know, even if they back up for 2 seconds, they're going to rebound with twice as much force once they've drawn those defensive ultimates out of HSL. So very well done by that team. So often it looked like they might be going for the full reset or even, you know, a soft reset, but they're always ready to go back on the aggressive side. And unfortunately, HSL Esports, they just didn't have the ultimates to continue to hold out.
Right. That's the thing there, is that Young and Beautiful, they played the long game, right? They drew out all those ultimates from the HSL, and it was unfortunate, you know, that A10 and Chubbs layered the tank ultimates on top of each other, because that might have actually enabled the defense to rally, because again, the spawns are so close, but because they use both of them and they find no value with both of them, right? The grab just on the front of the payload, nobody is there anymore, and the shatter blocked by Krondop. That's where HSL faltered. They stumbled, and Young and Beautiful took advantage of that to, you know, stick their leg out, trip them all the way.
Sweep the leg.
Exactly.
Exactly. But I mean, Young and Beautiful now, they have to defend. How many times have we seen teams who excel at the attack fall apart when it comes time to, you know, bunker down, hold that fort? So Young and Beautiful, they're going to be pretty happy with that attack, but they can't let the discipline slip. You got to make sure that as much as you want to win every single one of these fights, you have to be thinking about, you know, down the line, 3-4 fights later, especially on Streets phase, which is so snowbally. Do you still have something in the tank, or are you going to be running on fumes? And HSL, who knows? Are we gonna see this Pharah? Maybe a little bit unlikely, with No Mercy taking to the skies behind her, but yep, there we go. There is the swap. Stardust back onto the Brigida for a little bit more of that tanky brawling ability on the front line. Really excited to see if A10 can produce a little bit more. We know this guy is a monster Zarya, and he's been, you know, getting grabs with the quickness, but with GOATs, one great Zarya does not a winning team make. We have to make sure that everybody else on the team is also on the same playbook, able to follow up behind him.
All right, in comes the drop down from the HSL, looking to get themselves on at this point, get themselves that foot in the door, because then, you know, it's a lot easier to get yourselves in the rest of the way once you've got that. But no, Honey is going to slam the door on their foot. He doesn't care if he breaks anything, because he finds A10 with the headshots, and Young and Beautiful will just quickly sweep this up.
I don't know. They turned A10 into a doorstop with the quickness that they closed that door right on him. But the good news is, Hedon, man, generating a trance, almost like
That's
right
crazy.
behind Honey in terms of that ultimate generation. So there's going to be, you know, something on the line for HSL should they try and extend this fight out. But their tanks got to start racking up that ultimate percentage. Young and Beautiful are far ahead.
You see, we're playing the perspective of a bird right now, watching all this out. You know, just perched in my little nest, wondering what the heck is going on, why there's so many explosions. You know, I'm just trying to live my life over here as a bird. But HSL pushing in, Graviton Surge out from Caffey here to try and negate that. Chubb's going to get charged to the backline, finished off there. And y'all know the drill. No Reinhardt, no win.
A little bit unlucky, Hedon investing the trance right there, but the charge takes Chubbs far away from any of that 300 HPS that Hedon could be giving him. So
oh my,
HSL,
Young and Beautiful.
You know, Oh, Young and Beautiful, really. Is this selfless? Catch Me and My Boy Sinatra? Spawn camping? They're just pressing their advantage. Caffey,
Yeah.
you can see, trying to maintain that high charge. Ooh, going
Oh,
with the power of
goodness.
1,000 suns.
Oh, goodness gracious. Caffey is just 100 charge at all times, it seems, and he's able to build up his Graviton so quickly because of that. However, HSL, a lot of ultimates in the bank for them. If there is a chance to win the team fight, it's going to be this one. They try to move in with the Bash Shatter, but Crandup was expecting that, and he is not going to fall for it this time. And there you see the Shatter and the Grab Bomb, and there you go. Tech 36 gets 3. Nice charge in from Chubbs there to facilitate that and remove Crandop's shield from it. And Honey was not able to counteract that. So, unfortunate for the Young and Beautiful, but they're going to set their sights on the Streets phase.
This just goes to show you don't have to win every single fight, just
Not
the
every.
right fights.
Exactly.
All right. And HSL able to find their way through a crack in Young and Beautiful's armor here, but this Streets phase is going to be considerably more difficult as the ultimate advantage has swung back into the defender's favor. Not just that, but again, this archway, this environment favors them so much.
I want to be watching the Divas here to see how they try and eat up the Graviton Surge, especially Tech 36 right now, because Caffey is so close to his Tech 36. How are you going to counteract this, right? I know there's lots of different techniques, but he just goes for the good old look right at the Zarya and read him like a book. And there you go. The Graviton Surge is gone. Young and Beautiful in shambles. They have to use their beat and their rally to stabilize. Meanwhile, the HSL, they just got to use their Transcendence now. They beat second. They're looking to take this fight because when you beat second, you have the resources, you have the HP needed to come back and win the fight. And A10 just melting down the Brigitte of Flippy.
It was looking good for just a little bit, but and then unfortunately, HSL though able to blow through there like a mortar almost.
Oh, yeah.
And A10,
Oh, A10
sneaky
grab.
crouching. You can't hear him. He's going for the sneaky grab from up above. Tech has been well fed so far. Danny has really yet to gobble up one of
Caffey
those
knows.
grabs.
Caffey knows exactly what A10 is going to be trying to go for and lets Danny know, and you see that, but still the Graviton Surge is tossed in. He waited for the Matrix to expire. Now the bomb right in the midst of the team. It finds Caffey. Chubbs is able to get Young Savage just before that. Danny's popped out of that little iron cocoon of the mech, and A10 will be bottled up, stunned up on the side, and there's enough damage that Young and Beautiful is able to get the 1 kill, but it's just not going to be enough to enable them to hold that fight. And now with 3 minutes and 25 seconds, HSL, they're looking pretty good.
Oh, I'd say more than good. They still have 3 ultimates on the line, and it
looking
really
great.
is. It really is, you know, just a game of those ultimates. That back and forth conversation. Luckily, though, for Young and Beautiful, the Zarya's grab ultimate has largely been reset, evened up just a little bit here, so they have a chance.
All right, Chubbs, what are you going to do with this one? Try and sneak it right past the shield. The dude has got stones. I'll give him that. Playing so aggressively. And there you go. The Shatter is in. Caffey knocked down, but he will be able to be kept alive by the impeccable support of his team. But once those resources expire, so does Caffey's life. And Flippy, not long for this world as well.
Rian, so cruel. Caster curse, you know, right out the bat. Young and Beautiful. I mean, they have one trance, one Earth Shatter coming up, and just a little bit of hope.
Yeah, and a bit of a dream as well. What are they going to do here? Let's hope they can stabilize. But HSL, they're of course looking to just say no and dominate this team fight there. Tries to go for that shield bash. Krondop just is forced to drop the Shatter because that cooldown is not going to come off in time. They don't want to risk that beat up top. FD God doing a wonderful job of positioning himself up there where he can never get hit. But now, Hidan forced to use that Transcendence, and Tech 36's bomb finds Flippy. Out comes the beat from the Young and Beautiful. But even though they beat second here, they're not in a winning condition, so this will not give them the tools they need to win. Rather, just stabilize. But Young Savage finds the boot, and Honey finds the frags. Will they be able to do this? Yes, they will, Ham.
It's very close, but at this point, HSL are playing against that invisible 7th member of the defense, the Respawn. And Young and Beautiful, they do have an advantage here, so they can take a breath for now. They've given themselves a stay of execution, but they still have to hold for 1:30 left, and HSL are not daunted at all. They have all the tools. They can pop this rally, go in aggressive, put A10 in a good position to get a great grab.
Oh, but Young and Beautiful is going to play aggressive first, and the blade of the guillotine, you think it's creeping ever closer, but Young and Beautiful are defiant. They will not go down without having their word heard. HSL, they have a grab Graviton Surge for this next fight. Young and Beautiful, if HSL pushes now, Young and Beautiful has nothing to counteract it.
But only for 13 more seconds until Honey gets that trance. So
Oh,
A10
not
he has
even
a very
13.
small window. No, he hasn't now.
It's gone.
Big stun,
But the
though.
Shatter comes in. Honey's found with that. Gonna have to use that Transcendence. And the Graviton Surge from Cafe eaten up as well. Tech 36 finds yet another. And Hedon pops the Transcendence here. And again, much like the beat, the Transcendence, the team that Transcendence is second is often the team that will come out because you have so many resources. However, Stardust, still split from the team, is found by Danny's micro missiles. The Shatter comes out in desperation from Chubbs, and the beat is there to keep him alive. But is it going to be enough? Tech 36 still holding on to the bomb, but the Young and Beautiful are looking to stabilize. They're going to be able to do just that. Chubbs removed from the fight by a beautiful charge there from Krandop, and Cafe will clean up FD God, and A10 falls soon after. Honey, what a fragger. Let's talk about this guy.
Another one of those great backline Zenyatta's. HSL, they have 10 more seconds to touch. This is
Somebody's
going to be
gotta
a
get
desperation push. There's no way they can get the full 6.
What a rollout. He's flying up top. Will he be able to get there in time? No. Isolated so beautifully. Great job from the Young and Beautiful to keep FD God away from the payload. Young Savage there, especially with the boop, staying up top on the high ground. He knew where FD God was going to have to go. So, Young and Beautiful, they
Taking
get
it
up our
out,
series.
man.
1-1.
Yeah, tied up now. Young and Beautiful aren't out of it. It was, oh man, but it was looking extremely risky right there. They were having such a hard time putting up any kind of defense until that very third point. But, you know, they were able to hold it off.
Yeah,
and in no small part due to the ability of their backline not only to stay alive, generate those crucial ultimates, but able to deal that damage. That's so important, especially